sales. Ritika, let's skip ahead. One of the things that we always talk about is how do we train our sales force? Or is our sales force doing a good job? Are they answering the right questions? Are they talking to the customer right? Can they role play through the process? Ritika, are you able to pull up the demo that we were going to look at from that standpoint?
Yes. Did you want to go through Pitch Monster or do you want to do Synthesia?
We'll go through both. Let's go through both.
Okay. So one of the things that we like to do at the company is use less and less PowerPoints, quite honestly. I think what happens quite often is we put together these materials, documents, memos, PowerPoints, and we send it across to our team and hope to God that they learn it and read it and use it. What we've been finding quite simple to use lately has been this platform called Synthesia. Basically what it does is you are able to put in a script. You're able to add in a topic, and what it does it goes through and it actually builds out a video for you. So it's quite as simple as putting in which avatar you want to use, putting in a script, and then you can click create free AI video. So I'll show you an idea of what we've built. So this is something that it's like your workspace. You can go in, you can build quizzes, you can build sales training, you can build onboarding videos, you can build anything that you would like in video format. And so I put in a script for our new multi-factor authentication process. So when I click into it, what you kind of see is what would have been a document or what would have been a PowerPoint essentially ends up being a video.
81% of
I'm going to mute this. It's pretty good in terms of audio, but what's really interesting is it goes through and it actually does a lot of really cool animations. So to use it in a presentation rather than a PowerPoint has something that, the eye can catch on to, and just makes it a lot simpler for people to go through and understand your company policies, your sales strategies, and, even your cybersecurity strategies. So it is.
Jessica, so
yes.
Again, it looks like this is polished. It seems like you spent a lot of time, effort, energy. I don't know how to use this tool. None of us have the time to learn a new tool. Is it really that easy, and how quickly can you build it? Can you kind of show us one?
Absolutely. So I'm going to go into this create with AI option right here. You could also choose from one of these blank templates. So let's say if you want to do, discover a product, create our product. Give me 1 second. Let me just ensure I'm in the right account here.
I'm going to be a spoiler alert. So yesterday, Ritik and I were going through this, and it took her about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
To literally type in a prompt. I need to build a training presentation on two-factor authentication. And like 5 minutes later, it literally built the entire presentation, all the training and everything integrated with it.
Yep. What's really cool about this is when you create an account and you start using it, it actually walks you through what you can do. So it kind of goes through step by step. So I'll go through that process for you guys. So the first thing you can do is you can, write in a script, you can edit it, which is right down here. The second thing you could do is to select the avatar that you'd like. What we've done before is we have, essentially who we call Jen. And that's kind of the avatar we've created for onboarding purposes. And so you can select an avatar and you can even create an avatar if you'd like. What's really interesting is you can actually go through and take a picture of yourself and create an avatar of yourself if you'd like. So if your HR person or your salesperson wants to create their own avatar, they could. But in this situation, we're going to hold on to Alex in the red shirt here. So we selected our avatar. The second thing we do is we select our voice, right? So what sort of voice do you want? Do you want a male voice? Do you want a female voice? Do you want someone that has a more empathetic tone, someone with a more aggressive kind of a go-getter tone? You can choose from 120 different options. Click next, and then all you got to do is click this nifty little generate video. So once you click generate, what it does is ask you for a title and a quick description. So I could say, discover product, talk through our MFA product, right? And then, you can have a free version of this. You can have captions built in. You can have different chapters. It takes about 10 minutes for a video to build out. And as soon as you click generate, it goes into this generating mode. basically says, good job. You'll get an email when you have the video ready to go. And in about 10 minutes, you get an email that goes in, and you can open it up and you can start playing it. The cool thing about this is you can actually translate it into, I believe they support about 45 different languages. So if you have a large team like we do, we have team members all around the world. Most recently, we actually hired a lot of interns in Nepal. So if I wanted to translate this into their language, I totally could. And go in here. There's about 80 languages actually. So you can go through and you can translate. Any questions on Synthesia or what you would need in order to generate something like this?
All right, let's go to the next tool.
All right, this is my favorite one. And this is also by far the one that I use the most. It's called usemotion.com. What you're seeing on screen that kind of looks like a nightmare, as I'm sure all of your calendars also look. This is my calendar for the week. My EA manages it, and I'm going to walk you through some of the most basic features first before I get into the cool stuff. So if I go into settings here, if you notice, I've got multiple calendars. I'm sure everybody on this meeting right now has a lot of different calendars across different time zones. What's cool about Motion is it merges everything into one calendar. It has a nifty little app for Android and iOS that you could use. I can go into auto scheduling, give it some rules in terms of how I wanted to schedule, how much break I want between tasks. If there's any sort of defaults, if I want to add a task for myself, like maybe I need to go and do some training or I need to go read a memo, I can add in a task as well. So basically you have all of these different settings that you have that you can configure. The cool part about it, however, is the AI chat function. So what I can do is I could essentially go through and ask it to draft a meeting agenda, ask it to create a personalized plan. Essentially what you're doing is you're talking with your calendar. Something that we were testing yesterday was its ability to go through and do time and cost analysis across different team members that you work with. So here, what I'd essentially asked it was a very simple question of calculate the total number of meetings that I have with JP. And it went through, it pulled up all the meetings that I had with him in the last 30 days. And then I said, let's do a little cost analysis based on the number of hours that I spend in meetings with JP, the type of meetings that I've got, who typically attends those meetings, and what's the summary of those things. So it looks like I've got 9 meetings with him, 7 hours total, which I'm surprised because JP's usually never in town. But it looks like I've spent quite a bit of time in meetings with JP, and then I've asked it to compare it with another team member of ours who manages technology here, whose name is Hansen. So I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to show you a meeting report with Hansen. So I just went through and I said, what are all the meetings I've had with Hansen? Check all my calendars and events. So it came through all of the meetings, nifty little summary of everything that I'm working with him on. And then I asked it, who do I meet with the most based on the last 30 days? Now I want to see across all of my team members, how many hours. And then I said, create a table with all the top 10 people and then calculate it at an hourly rate. I just threw out a number and it gave me a very neat little snapshot of who I meet with the most. Anjul here is my EA, hence the shorter bursts but longer frequency of meetings, and then the hourly value as well. So it's a really cool way of looking at who you're spending the most amount of your time with, which team member might need the most amount of handholding, and where your time is actually going. Something else that I use it for is to ask it, what should I work on next? Sometimes I feel like I've got so many things going on, and it kind of breaks out based on my calendars and tasks what I'm focusing on in the coming days. Any questions on Motion or how you can set it up? It's a really, really nifty tool for being able to merge everything. And I think it's only about like maybe $30 a month, something like that. Any questions that I can help answer with setup for Motion or how to use it? All right, then the last thing I'll walk through real quick on here is I'm gonna go back here to, let's go. It does actually manage some tasks for you. So you can add in tasks and it'll fit it in between your calendar. If you guys have ever heard about time blocking, it's really good for that as well. If I go back to calendar here, You can replace your booking links. So if any of you guys use Calendly, included with Motion is the ability to create a new booking link that you can deploy across different tools. So it really does merge a bunch of different calendar time management functions into one so that you don't have to, go across multiple calendars.
Fantastic. All right. I think it's super important that you kind of see that it's one thing to be like, hey, here's the cool new tool to check out. It's another thing to be like, hey, this is how we're doing day to day and the actual productivity coming from it. And I think that's important. I think the questions you guys have asked earlier is like, it's one thing to like waste all your time doing all these things. Another thing to be like, how can I actually save time, increase productivity, and do a lot less of the stuff that I don't want to do in the process?